Is it like a countdown or is counting up?
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Left Lane Chronicles, where the miles matter and the stories live forever on the open road. Tonight's guest isn't just a rider, he's a road warrior, a man who's crossed this country more times than most people cross their own city. When we talk about real mileage, we're talking about lived experience. Ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome y'all, Hog Slayer.
What's up, man?
Let's go. So, before we get started, I do want to give a shout out to the brands that are sponsoring myself. Let me give a shout out to Eagle Lights, keeping riders visible no matter the conditions, and Bad Boy Cycles for their seats and their engine guards and all the wonderful things that they have created and put out there for riders like yourselves to utilize. Now back to the show. So gotta ask, where did the name Hawk Slayer come from?
All right. So the first part, well, I'm in the Marine Corps, right? I was a Marine Corps drill instructor. And as a Marine Corps drill instructor, well, we call the recruits hogs. So the name stuck from there. And then also I was an avid hunter before I started riding, like avid hunter. I used to hunt hogs down in Georgia. So it was that, the hunting of the hogs, and then the bike. So kind of all three of those stuck together. And next thing you know, Hog Slayer. Yeah.
So outside of the helmet,
Mm-hmm.
you know, well, I want to go back to what you said. I don't know. My instructors never called me.
They ain't call you no hog?
Nah, they call other names.
All right.
but you know how that goes. You know?
Yeah. More other inappropriate things.
I was like, oh man, actually, funny story about that. I actually still keep in contact with one of my drill instructors.
Oh, that's what's up.
And I was stationed with my chief drill instructor's wife.
Mm-hmm.
She was actually one of my gunnies. So
Okay.
it was pretty dope. And I seen him at a cookout that we was having. I was like, yeah, I remember you.
Yeah,
Like,
should
yeah, what do you remember? I said, I remember you had that one who put his man parts up against the stanchion and then leaned back. He started laughing. We had a good laugh about that. That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Those truckers definitely do some crazy things.
Yeah, it's a great
Let's
time.
give it up for those truckers. So outside of the helmet,
Mm-hmm.
Like who are you outside of the ride helmet besides being?
Well, like I said, I'm active duty, even though on social media, social media will depict a certain type of a person or a perception of a person. I'm active duty. I work on Camp Johnson, which means I'm a formal school instructor. I teach my MOS to entry-level students that come into the Marine Corps. I've been doing that since December of 2024. Before that, this year I'll be in the Marine Corps for 18 years, so I've been in the Marine Corps for quite a bit. I have 2 kids. My kids live in Colorado. When I'm not riding, I'm visiting them. Sometimes I ride and visit them. Make the best of both. But yeah, other than the riding, which takes predominantly most of my time, my free time, I'm a Marine and I'm a dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I would say, me personally, like you said it takes up your free ride. It takes up a lot of your free time.
Mm-hmm.
My free time is riding.
Mm.
Kind of reverse, because I have my kids full time.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just like one of the things where
Mm-hmm.
dad, and you understand, dad has to.
Yep.
Yeah. So whenever I get time to ride, I'll go out on trips. That right there is my free time. Whatever they go away. So it works out for me.
So back to that, right? So a lot of people always ask me, how do I have so much time to ride? Not even where I find the time, but how do I have so much time to ride? So, for example, I work from, we'll say 08 to 1600, right? 1630. Once I get off work at 1630, 1700, I don't have anyone at home taking that time because like having kids and having a relationship takes time.
Yeah.
Like, there's just man hours associated with that, right? But I don't have that. So all my time is my time. So I'm able to go on, 2 hour, 3 hour rides every single day of my life because I don't have those things that take that required time. So I think that's what shows, like, they're like, oh, like, why is he, how is he always out? Well, because I don't have those other things that other people have, most people, I would say.
Yeah. I notice it's like every time I see like you post stuff on IG, like you're always somewhere you're doing
Yeah.
cross country trips. And as we spoke about before, like I never got that kind of time.
Yeah.
Even though like I had someone to be here, like
Yeah.
earlier this week with my son, I never had that much time. I was a sergeant when I got out,
Mm,
so we kind of always got to be on readily available
yeah.
wherever I was at. And I was stationed in California for a time at Miramar, so
Yeah.
a lot of my riding was up West Coast. And then when I got stationed in Massachusetts, um, I started riding once I moved to
Mm,
Connecticut. So now I have the time to travel. I just haven't
mm,
made it to the West Coast yet. It's like I'm chipping away
yeah.
at the states, bit by bit.
And
So
here's another cheat. Here's another cheat that I do, right? So you remember the 96s you got, the four
yeah,
day weekends. So what I do is I can turn that 96 hour period off, and I can turn that into 2,000 miles. Because what I do is the first day of the 96, if I want to go from here to, let's say, Milwaukee, I'll wake up the first day and I'll ride straight to Milwaukee. Like, I don't play, right? I don't play no games. I get there. Once I get there, then I'm messing around. I'm taking pictures. I'm riding around, visiting dealerships, going to see what I want to see. But on that last day, I got to come back because I got to be at work the next day.
yeah.
So that's where the miles come from. I was talking to somebody about it today. It's the 45, I'll say like 48 to about 55 days a year we get off of federal holidays as service members. So those 45 to 55 days, I can turn that into 30,000 miles.
So with that, do you
Mm.
ever have like like a set game plan? Like I just want to ride here this time, or
Oh, yeah.
how do you schedule out your rides?
But I can open my phone right now and tell you everywhere I'm going to be at for the rest of this year. Like, so I had, it's all, not want to say scripted, but like at the beginning of the year, because I have kids, they're in Colorado, right? I know exactly where I want to be every federal holiday, right? So let's say I want to visit New York City. I'm going to New York City for this holiday. Let's say I want to go to Tampa Bay. Let's say I want to go to Niagara Falls. I want to go to Monument Valley. I want to go to whatever, whatever. It's all scheduled out for the rest of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try that, and I noticed that for me,
Mhm.
I can't due to certain circumstance, I can't plan
Mhm.
out like that.
For sure.
Uh, as much as I want to, I gotta
Mhm.
pick and choose like which events
Yeah.
I'm going to attend.
Yeah.
Um, it's like a lot of my trips I made them happen within the weekend.
Mm.
Um, so like
Mhm.
I rode to Detroit and St. Louis in the weekend, still made it back in time to
Okay. What's the
uh,
same? This is just like that. Then it's the same thing. Like,
yeah,
I do the like, what I mean. If there's an event coming up and that weekend was already co-located, I'll make it happen. But like, like major events like, you know Harley Davidson homecoming or anything that's farther away that requires a little bit more logistics of figuring it out, those have to be scheduled. Like, I can't mess with those because it's too far.
yeah,
Um, which is why I do that, because I'll get invited a lot of times to other events, and if I'm not scheduled, I'll double. I don't want to say double book by myself, but I'll tell people I'm coming to stuff that I know I can't make it to.
yeah.
So I
I
have to.
mean,
I had to create a schedule as I continue to do this. This path of riding and sharing and stuff.
okay. And so speaking about like the passion for riding, what
Mhm.
first got you into motorcycles?
Oh man, this question is always good. um, so in 2016, I was talking to this one chick, and it's funny because when we were talking, just having conversations, it came up that she was a rider. She didn't have a bike at the time, but it came up she was a rider. So I was like, okay. Like I was like, what'd you ride? She told me she rode sport bikes, and I was like, I can't have this chick be a rider, and I ain't gonna be no rider. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like literally from day one to licensed rider, it was 30 days.
Oh man.
From not knowing to knowing, 30 days. I'm not even exaggerating, right? So I got my permit. I learned on an R1, and from zero to licensed, those 30 days. And that's when it all started. And I was like, oh, it's a wrap now.
So learning on that R1, was that R1 your first bike?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang. I wish I had pictures of that
Yeah,
one.
I know. I know. I think about it all the time. Like that was a part of the writing path that I really didn't focus too heavily on because I'm new to it. I didn't know where it's going to take me yet. But it wasn't until like 2019 is when it really hit me. Like, okay, what do I want to do with this? And then one of my close friends, we were drill instructors together. I joined his club at the time, and then that's what really started the whole miles and traveling and seeing other states. That's what kicked it off around 2019. And then from there is history with buying Harleys and road glides and just traveling across the country.
So when do you think that riding became more of a hobby for you, or did it ever just become like a hobby for you?
At first, when I first started riding, it was a hobby because I had my kids. I was in a relationship. Then it was like you said, it was the riding was free time. But once I lost that, once I lost, things didn't work out. I lost my family. My kids didn't live with me anymore. Then it opened up a lot of free time, a lot more free time. And I asked myself, what do I do with this free time? What constructively can I do? So around 2022 is when I truly devoted that energy and time to traveling and capturing the trips. And that's when all the reels and pictures and going to national parks and going to see places. That's when that all started. Was around July 2022 was when it really kicked off.
Okay, and I know that you travel since you travel a lot. You go cross country pretty often.
Hmm.
Like what was your first cross country ride, and what was that like?
My first big ride was when I visited my kids around May of 2000. I want to say May 2022 was when I did my first iron butt. And I rode from Southern California to Aurora, Colorado. And then once I did that is when I was like, okay, like this ain't so bad. And then from there, I just kept piling on. From there it was history. Once you do the iron butt once, distance and time becomes relative because you could do it now. You know what I mean? Like,
I know a lot of people that do those challenges, um, and turns out like I have a few buddies of mine that be like, well, you pretty much did the challenge so many times, you might as well go ahead and do it and get it logged in.
yep.
But for me, I don't know. I really don't care too much. Like I try to tell them, I really don't
Mhm.
care too much for the challenges
Mhm.
because I feel like if I'm put myself through a challenge of that sort, then I'm
Mhm.
not focused so much on the ride. I'm focused on like time and
That
stuff like that.
that is true. I will tell you this: when I did the actual challenge, I didn't enjoy it. Because there was a lot of stipulations with the challenge. You have to have receipts. You have to have start miles, start time, finish miles, finish time, and it's just no way to enjoy the ride that way. So now, when I do my own 1Ks in a day, I don't worry about none of that. I capture the miles because I'm sharing that with the world. You know what I mean? But I'm not worried about sharing that with the intention of getting a certificate. I don't have any certificates for my 1Ks in a day. Like those are for me. Like that's for me knowing that I did that and sharing it.
So within all these trips, right?
Mhm.
Because I do agree with you. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to do the trip and let the trip be for you. Because
Yeah.
that's when you actually want. Like if you just doing it, you want to stop somewhere
Yeah.
and capture a moment. that's
Yep.
on your own accord. But with them
Yep.
challenges, you don't have the
Not.
time to do that,
Mhm.
you know, in a sense. So like, which trip actually stood out the most for you?
Mm. Maybe about 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago, I did my first big cross country trip. I did 33 states, about 7,500 miles in like 8 days. And that's when I knew my true like writing, enjoying, and viewing and sharing potential. So it was around like 2022, August 2022. So every year since then, in August of every year, I do about anywhere from 8 to 12,000 miles that month.
Oh,
I take the days off, and I mean, like, I know where I'm going, right? I plot a
yeah.
destination, and I just ride. Like, I ride to some far reach of the country, go see somewhere I haven't seen. I share it, and I come back about 8, 10 days later.
So what would you say be what was your longest stretch in a day in one
Oh,
shot?
longest stretch in a day was July 4th. I don't want to mess the year up. I want to say 2024, July 4th, 2024. I did 1,719 miles in 25 hours.
All right. I honestly I would say my longest stretch. I would say my ride to Knoxville,
Mm-hmm.
but then I think actually it might be that one because my St. Louis to New York was maybe what 14 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say the ride to Knoxville was probably about because I had some complications during that trip.
Yeah.
Um, so I want to say I was on the road for maybe 16, 17 hours due to the
Out
fact
here,
that
though.
it's not
Out on this side.
from yeah from this side.
Yeah.
So I went from CT all the way down to
Mm-hmm.
Knoxville, and then that was my longest in one shot. That was my
Mm-hmm.
first time doing a cross country trip. I would
Mm-hmm.
say, well, not cross country, but
Yeah, for
I was on
sure.
my way to Oklahoma.
So I will tell you this, man, and this I tell people this all the time. Riding on the East Coast and riding on the West Coast, maybe even the Midwest, is completely different because the speed limits and the states and all that changing of terrain and all that and traffic halts how fast you can get to your destination out here.
Yeah.
On the West Coast, yeah, I was able to do 1,700 miles in 24 hours because the speed limit is almost obsolete out there, bro. It goes so everybody goes so fast out there. It's a wild west out there on the highways, right?
Yeah.
But out here, you can't be playing no games going 80, 85 on the East Coast highways, boy.
Oh, trust me, I know. I,
they
I,
boy
I
they
know. I know the difference. Because there was times where, like, when I first started riding, I started riding when I was stationed in San Diego,
yeah,
and I would always be up and down the coast.
yeah.
That's back when I had my sport bike. I had a Kawasaki '08 Kawasaki ZX6R, and that was my first bike.
Hmm.
And, and like you said, it's a whole different ball game out there. And I try to
Yes,
tell riders that only rode on the East Coast. It's different when you ride on the West Coast. It's a whole other thing,
them
you
boys,
know.
them
So
boys can ride. Not saying the East Coast can't ride, but them boys ride fast out west.
yeah,
They don't be
it's
playing that shit. You can't get on the highway talking about 70 miles per hour west. You gonna get
yeah.
left. That I want to say the minimum out there is at least 80.
Yeah, and
And
especially if you hitting like Texas lines, you
oh yeah,
ain't sure not going those
oh
those
yeah.
65, 70.
My bad. So I was going through Montana and I was doing like 85 miles per hour. I felt like I was going slow because cars were going so fast, man. I was like, yo, like I'm not about to do 90, 95 weighted down on my road guide because everybody else want to drive mock Jesus trying to get to where they're going at. I was in a slow lane, bro, going 85, 90 in Montana. Like they drive fast, man.
So on these long trips, how does a long journey change your mindset?
Mm. Well, you about to start touching the soul now, huh? You- So for me, the trips are more than 100%. The trips are not a hobby. None of the trips I go on are because like they're for me, man. Like straight up, like because I don't have my kids with me, there's like a void that I lost. There's a void that I can't fill since they've left. And one of the only constructive things I can do to fill that emotional and physical void is to reset on those trips. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a therapeutic thing for me, like just to reset myself because, like as a father, like it's a constant reminder that you miss your kids.
Yeah.
So like I do that for myself because it's like it's a give back to me and it's like a therapeutic thing for me. So like the trips are really a mental refresher for me more than any type of depiction of a hobby, if that makes sense.
And I feel like with a lot of people that don't ride, don't understand too, is that when you're out there on that road, it's like you said that right there is your therapy.
Hmm.
There could be other outlets that you could be going to.
Mm.
Like some people go to like drinking, some people go to
Yeah,
smoking, some people they just strictly just indulge in anger
yeah,
and act out, But the fact that you're able to, throw your leg over that bike and go on them rides
yeah.
and let that be, what I'm saying, in a way of your salvation, I would say, to ease your mind,
Hmm.
that within itself is something special, And I feel like sometimes when like we all as bikers, we all go through stuff, you know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? And for us to be able to be out there without worrying about, the day to day
Yeah,
and just focus on us, the road
yeah,
and our bike, and getting to our destination, that right there within itself is wonderful because your destination isn't the end, it's just part of the journey.
yeah, for sure.
That's how I feel
Yeah,
whenever I
man.
get on my bike.
Oh yeah, man. And then this along this path, I've been able to realize that riding to some people is a hobby. Riding to some people is not how it is for me. Like it's way past the hobby for me. Like it's pure love and passion for me and therapy. So like when I'm around people that don't feel the same way about it, I'm not comfortable because they don't feel the same way like I do. They water it down, and that's cool. Like no, not knocking them. That's how they see it. But I don't see it that way. So I got to do what I'm doing by myself. So
Yeah.
that's often why I'm by myself because a person might not appreciate when I see the sunset and I'm like, yo, I want to stop and appreciate the sunset before it goes down. Another rider might just ride past it,
Mhm.
to get where they're going. But I don't really see it that way, or a spot I see it, it looks beautiful. I want to see it. So at least that's me.
I felt everyone has their way of viewing it,
Hmm.
and you know, I'm kind of in the same realm as you. Like me, I'll sit there and I'll sometimes, if I don't pull over, I'll stop. I'll slow down a little bit just
Hmm.
to enjoy the sunrise. I love seeing the sunrises.
For sure.
Um, that to me is like the most peaceful thing and helping me start my trip.
Yeah.
And it's just like wow,
Yeah.
every time it's a wow factor. And when you're in
Yeah.
a different state, for some reason, that sunrise just hits way different. I don't know why, but it
Yeah.
does. And um, I know like we started talking about like the mileage and stuff like that and riding. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out here who want to know what went through your mind when you hit that 200,000.
Oh man. Um, it felt unreal. I ain't gonna lie. Because for the longest time, 100,000 was my goal, and I hit that in 2023. Right, and when I hit that, I thought that was it for me. I was like, okay, I did it. I hit a good pinnacle in my life. Like this is a good biker point, a respectable biker point. And then I was like, wait a second. A lot of people got 100,000 miles on their bikes. A lot of bikers, a lot of older bikers do. So I was like, how do I separate myself and kind of like make a name for myself in the biker community I got to do something that's not normally documented. So I was like, let me chase the 200. And I did, I made it. I was purposely doing it. And when I did it, it was unreal because the state and city I bought my bike in was where I rolled 200,000 in.
Oh, nice.
I bought my bike March 2021 here in Jacksonville, North Carolina, and I broke 200,000 miles in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Yeah, that shit crazy.
So, with you hitting 200,000 miles, like, do you feel as though like there's more? 'Cause I'm pretty sure you're still putting more miles on that bike.
Yeah, she in the garage.
Yeah. So is there another level, or are you gonna try to put that same amount or push it on a new bike?
So hands down, since I already did it before, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do so. Uh, so the Regina's, which I call the first road glide, right? She's got
Mhm.
200. She's got just over 200,000 miles. She'll stay local. My boy will ride it because she works and everything, so he'll ride her for me so that she don't just stop working. The goal now of the new road glide is to test if it's capable of doing the same thing.
See, you need to get a contract with Harley. That's what you
So,
need.
so a lot of people don't know. I'm now working with the motor company.
Oh,
Yeah,
see, hey, you making waves out here. You making waves out
yeah. But I'm working with the motor company now, and they're very. I will give them this. Like when I did the miles, I did it for me. It never was to like clout chase and like I told you, like I did it for me, right? But now since they've recognized that, they've been very welcoming about that. Supporting what I'm trying to do, and I got to give it to them because not a lot of times do companies do that. They just kind of like let it be, but they've been very good about that. So I actually now talk to the motor company directly, and yeah, so I'm working with Harley Davidson now.
here. And that right there is where we all strive to be, especially as content creators.
Mm,
Because you're doing you technically reached a level that a lot of us strive for, and
mm.
like for myself, I'm actually trying to work with my local Harley dealership.
Okay,
Keep trying to get my foot in the door with that,
okay,
and I'm starting with doing my first meet and greet is gonna be at my local Harley dealership.
okay.
Uh, so
Yeah.
July 11th to April 25th date, I will not be able to make that one for you all that's watching. But July 11th, I will be there from 11 to 3 at Hartford Harley Davidson in East Hartford, Connecticut.
And where's it gonna be at?
Hartford Harley Davidson in East Hartford, Connecticut.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
You
they
said
they was they was welcoming enough to allow me to come and set up a booth so I can meet new people.
let me
And I
see if
also went and got this dot wristband so I can start handing out my business info.
you said July 11th
Yep.
in Connecticut.
Yeah.
All right, I'll put it on my schedule.
Hey, so y'all come out and show out. You know what I'm saying? Chill with myself, chill with Hog Slayer, and pick his brain.
All
Oh,
right.
and speaking of picking your brain, I'm not sure if she's watching right now or not, but we had a young lady that wanted to know. Her name, she go by the name of Fearless. She
Mm-hmm.
wanted to know where.
Bro, you got me excited, bro. I'm about to go right now. Every time I watch that video, man, I swear that I cannot, man. The place so beautiful, man.
So where's that road located?
That is Glacier National Park, going from the east entrance to the west exit. It's in Montana. That is about an hour away from the Canadian border. So it's the
Okay.
most western and northern part of the country. Um, Well, yeah, about up in that area up there. So yeah, bro. Like for the longest time, I've seen a lot of places. I've seen the Grand Canyon area. I've seen Colorado. I've seen all the states, right? I've considered myself to see some of the most beautiful places in the country. I've never physically seen a place so beautiful in my life until I went to Glacier National Park, bro. I can't stop smiling about it because it's crazy how pretty that place is, man.
That Glacier National Park is actually on my bucket list.
Bro.
Um, I've seen a YouTuber by the name of Just GQ. I've
Hmm.
seen one of his videos. I seen when he went there, and I was like, man, that right there is
Bro.
my goal to at least reach that location.
I
That
waited for
Grand Canyon.
I waited for a while to see it, and I'm glad I did because when I got to see it, I went on my time. And I wasn't in a rush, and it was a perfect trip. I took a bunch of pictures out there. I watched the sunset before I rode the next morning. Like I soaked that trip in, man. Like every time I see the video, I be cheesing because it's so good. And Glacier National Park, though, it's a beautiful park, man. If you can make it, the weather's a little treacherous sometimes because it's high up. At one point, it was really foggy, and then it became clear. I know sometimes people have gotten wet up there. Like it's a little unstable because of the elevation and all that. But as long as you can monitor it, it can you can enjoy it. Just bring leathers
So,
though.
so what would you say would be a good time of year to go there?
I went in August, and I think August is probably the most either July or August is probably the most best time of the entire country to visit because it's summer for the entire country. It's still cold up there though. It's still cold up there. It was still in the 60s, even though it was August. So it ain't like it's gonna be warm up there. Um, but if I was to say the best time to go, don't go on a federal holiday because national parks are packed every time on holidays. If you can go during the week, during July or August, would probably be the best time of the year to go. And monitor the weather though, because that weather can change quickly.
I'll definitely do that.
Mhm.
So let's talk about what's next for Hawksler. After 200K miles, what is next?
So this year, because of the I'm working with this new motorcycle, right? With the motor company, it shifted what I wanted to achieve originally. So now, because I have this new motorcycle, she's never been to 50 states. She's never been to the 48 states. The first thing is, let's do that first with her. Take her to all 48, take pictures with some state signs, get her to touch them and all that. Once I do that, then I have one or two things I want to do. One, I try to do 4 corners in 7 days or less. Or two, I go to Alaska and come back. So that's really the two big goals I got this year. I haven't picked one yet. I just know that's kind of where I'm at right now with my big goals of the year.
I think Alaska might end up winning your heart.
Alaska takes some real planning, man.
Yeah,
It's easy to ride across the country. I ain't gonna lie. Like riding on this lower half of the country ain't hard at all. When you start going all the way up there are so many possibilities and so many resources that are not available that you got to be on your A game going
yeah.
up there. You can't be playing around.
And
Yeah,
that's why I say I feel like that's gonna take your heart because it's the challenge of it. You know
yeah,
that's what it takes.
yeah. But I also don't want to rush it. Like because I'm still active duty and I'm restricted to time off. I ask myself all the time, do I want to rush that kind of a trip? Because you
Yeah.
talk about at least, I think I did the number. It was like 3,900 miles one way just to touch the border. That's not even to like go in there and like enjoy some shit, like so.
so, so what else is on your bucket list?
This year, like I said, with all the federal holidays I have off, I've got a few places. I'm going to New York City, visit some family. I'm gonna go to Florida for a couple of days as I go throughout the year. I'm riding to the West Coast this weekend. Down back to Southern California, be out there for 2 months. I'm actually going out there for work, but it's a win-win. I got to ride out there. Once I'm out there, then I'm gonna visit all the places in Cali because I'm already out there, so I might as well do all the West Coast stuff. Uh, visit Yosemite, visit Sequoia National Park, visit Valley of Fire, visit the Hoover Dam, maybe visit Zion, maybe squeeze in the Grand Canyon.
What about the
Because it's
redwoods?
huh?
The redwoods. Have you touched the redwoods yet?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Okay.
so what I feel now for Glacier, I felt for Redwoods.
Okay.
Right. Redwood is probably the most tranquil ride because it's just a ride. It's just a highway that cuts through beautiful parts of the country. You know, it ain't a national park per se because it's just a road that travels through a part of the country. So I really like Redwood because it's a more natural feel than a national park.
Yeah. I just
Yeah.
want to say what's going on, 50 Shades of Jay, and what's going on, Gab. Um, they just want to say what's up to you.
What up? What up?
So with all of that going on,
Mm-hmm.
I want to do. Um, I've been in Yosemite. I've been through Yosemite.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when I was going up to the the cold weather training site, my
Oh yeah,
trip.
yeah.
So I've been through, I've been through that quite a bit of times. Um, and I've been to Lake Tahoe,
Mm-hmm.
but I have yet, and that was crazy that you speak about the Valley of Fire. 'Cause I was just
Yeah,
watching a video of
yeah,
someone that rode through there, and
yeah.
I was just saying, literally just yesterday, and I was like, I think I want to go back to the West Coast.
And you know what's
You know,
crazy, man? Like a lot of people live on the West Coast. You know, a lot of riders are on the West Coast.
yeah,
They ain't never been to none of them places. They take that convenience for granted, and it's crazy. It's like you got all these riders on the East Coast or this side of the country that are like itching to go see these places because you know they 2,600 miles away from us. You
yeah.
know, so I go out there to SoCal. I think the farthest place I want to visit from San Diego County, if you want to call it that, maybe 7 hours away, bro. Like that's from here to what? What Virginia? Maryland? Like you know, it ain't. That's nothing. Like the
Yeah,
border
that's
of Pennsylvania,
7 8 hours. That's Connecticut to Virginia.
bro. That ain't. You know what I'm saying? So here I am thinking like, oh, I'd be crazy not to go to the West Coast and go to all these places if the farthest place is 7 hours away.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going.
Hey, all I say is you're doing it the right way. You taking it by every stride. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying, and you're not wasting any chances.
mm-mm.
So, you know, and which ties me into wanting to know what keeps you motivated to keep riding, because I can see the excitement when we talk about it.
Yeah.
So what keeps that motivation going?
At first, when I first started doing this, a lot of the motivation came from the void, like I told you, right? To fill that void with something constructive. As the years went by and I started to share the trips, a part of me now is actually motivated to share the trips with people that can't go. Right. And I've noticed that over time, people have reached out to me and like, hey, you know, if you go to this place, can you know show me where you go, drop a pin, let me know where you capture that moment. And it feels good to go visit a place where someone wants to go and share with them maybe like tips or a location or like it feels good to provide that to people. So like I've now tapped into that level of motivation. Like people now want to see what I'm gonna see. And it feels pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. It's actually really nice.
Yeah, because so like what I got planned is I'm going to Unleash the Beast, GQ's event Unleash the Beast,
Mm-hmm.
which is in Slidell, Louisiana. That's coming up in May,
Mm-hmm.
and then during the summer months, I'm going to First Mile up in Maine. It's right
Okay.
there on the border
Yep.
for the U.S. and Canada border.
Yep.
And on the way back down, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut into Canada and then come back, do a whole loop just to come back.
Okay.
So and it's not gonna be my first time going to Canada. I went to
Yeah.
Canada uh, twice actually. I went once with a friend of mine. We just popped over just for breakfast and then came
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
And then I went to Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
Well, my next Canada trip, I'm planning on doing Toronto. Not
Yeah,
too excited this time. So
yeah. I went to Niagara Falls last year, and I ain't gonna lie, that one hit the soul strings. I wanted to see
yeah,
Niagara
but you
Falls
ain't
for
gonna. Did
years.
you go on the Canada side?
I ain't going to Can. I ain't gonna lie though. I ain't going to Canada side, but I actually really enjoyed the New York side,
I don't know. We
which
checked
is,
the New York side. I was just kind of like,
bro.
y'all should be a little better than this.
But I don't know. Maybe because like for me, it was different. I went by myself. I went early. I didn't have anything that kind of like made it not convenient to myself. So I went and I enjoyed it, and there was no traffic. There was none of the stuff people told me about. So I think because I did it the way that I was a more seasoned traveler, which is
Yeah,
why I had a good experience. Could
yeah.
it have been a bad one? Probably, but I had a great time. It was, like I had front row seat on that boat. I was right at the front.
Good evening, TD. Thank you for tuning in.
What's up, man?
Uh, so for so we stopped on the New York side. It was myself and Gav. We stopped on
Mm,
the New York side, walked, seen the water from that side, and then we rode over into Canada. And I'm just gonna say it's a huge difference.
mm,
Um, it was to me. It seemed it was like a lot cleaner,
okay.
and it was like more, what I'm saying, put together in my
Uh,
opinion.
I
So
got you. Got
it's
you.
so like I would recommend going
Yeah.
over to the Canada side next time, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Hey,
And they got some hotels. It's not too expensive too. So
hey. I ain't gonna lie, man. I kind of enjoy the chaos. because it's just me, bro. I'll be like, bro, I'm about to park on this sidewalk because I ain't playing with these cars today. So
yeah,
I gotta, when you by yourself, you can do some rowdy. You can kind of get down. So I go, man. I go the wrong way if I feel like it. But just try to get away from the traffic.
yeah. I want to get that Toronto.
Mm,
Uh, maybe um do a Nova Scotia ride just to
mm.
just say I went. But I do have a few questions for you before we get out
Okay.
of here.
All right.
So, favorite state to ride?
Colorado.
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 Sunrise or night rides?
Ooh. You saying like sunrise? So like sunrise or sunset rides,
Or
right?
night rides? Yeah.
Or night rides. Ooh. It depends. It depends. Sunrise on the open road, hands down. Night rides in the city though, those be hidden. Night rides
I,
through cities be hidden.
I just hate riding through New York. Like I got family there. And I travel there very
Yeah,
frequently. But as far as like take my bike through there, sometimes I just be like, man, listen, it gets annoying. TD
bro.
said sunrise all day.
Bro, I've driven through. For me, because I got family in New York too. I lived in New York. I lived in Brooklyn. It was the first city I lived in when I moved from Jamaica. I got a soft spot for New York City. You know what I mean, for seeing it at night. But if I had to pick the calmness, everybody gonna always pick the sunrise on the road. You know what I mean? Like it's calm and
Yeah.
you can enjoy it. But I like the chaos in New York, man. I eat it up. I enjoy it.
So music or just the road?
Oof. I'm gonna say music.
What's your
Low
favorite?
music. For me, what keeps me going is like you know some like alternative rock, not like crazy death metal stuff because that stuff would give you a heart attack. But like some a little calmer, some with some like beat to it, kind of like keep me engaged and keep me awake. If I'm riding through somewhere slower, I'll pick some like slower songs, some reggae, some softer, kind of like taking a slow ride. But definitely music, definitely music.
Solo or group rides?
Oof, you already know the answer to that one, dog. You already know the answer to that one. Solo
I
for
mean,
sure.
I mean, hey,
Solo.
I know when you hit the West Coast, you got some friends over there that's gonna want to
Yeah.
ride. So
I'm gonna say solo because the moments I capture, I'm gonna say about I'm 80% sure I would not be able to capture it if I was in a group. I'm able to do it because I'm not either chasing someone or someone's not relying on me to guide. So I have more convenience of myself. So solo, cross country, hands down, yeah.
See, I don't mind. Like I like solo rides too because of that
Mm-hmm.
reason. Like I'm going at my own pace,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, not everybody is gonna want to see what you think is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I also don't mind group rides as well. Group rides are
Mm-hmm.
pretty dope too, especially when everybody, especially when you're in a pack. I really enjoy that. It's just the sound of the engines. I love hearing the sounds of everybody's
My,
exhaust and everything.
my energy in a group ride is substantially higher than my energy alone. I will say that, right? But my energy is only higher when I'm riding with people that can ride like me.
Yeah,
If you can't get down and mob like me, I'm not gonna enjoy it. Like I want to ride with someone that can ride with my same capability. Like if I want to mess with you and touch your brake lever as we're riding, I'm gonna do that. You know what I mean? Like that's you know what I mean. Like I like playing. Me and my boys, we like doing like playing games like that. Like if I want to come up and touch your rear brake as we riding because you're not because you zoned out looking at the road one way, I'm gonna come up and touch your rear brake lever. You know, so, like that's the type of rider I am. So if I can't really like kind of get down on that type of level, I don't really enjoy the group ride too much, especially on big trips. Not everybody can push big miles, so it can become a slower ride because people aren't comfortable pushing those high miles.
yeah.
So it's had to become a solo ride over time.
Okay. Well, Oxley, I appreciate you coming through and sharing your journey and those hard-earned miles. 200,000 miles is more than distance; it's commitment. Big shout out to Eagle Lights um for lighting the way. Big shout out to Bad Boy Cycles for sponsoring this video as well and keeping your ride looking nice and cool. And to everyone rocking with Left Lane Chronicles, thank you for watching, listening, and supporting. Like, comment, subscribe, and share with someone who lives for the road. Or if they don't live for the road and they're just interested, share with them as well. This is Left Lane Chronicles. Stay safe, stay riding. Remember, keep them tubes down. And I'll catch you on the next one. And we out.
All right, bro.